Okay, so I have a quick video for all you all to remind you about large-scale organization and to talk about it in particular regarding your open memo. So if you go back to week 2 or week 3, you will see the simple discussion section template posted. I will post it again under week 11 resources. But for large-scale organization, you start with a main point heading. Then you have a roadmap section. Make sure you do not label the roadmap section as a roadmap. Then you have a point heading or a subpoint heading for your first subsection, and that is followed by a CREAC discussion of it. And then you have a second subpoint heading for a second subsection, and that is followed by a CREAC discussion of it. If you have more than 2 sub-issues, then you would have a C and a D. Please note that if you only have one issue, you only have one main point heading. But if you have several main issues, you would have different numbered main point headings, and then you would have subpoint headings under each main point heading. So when we're thinking about large-scale organization, let's think about what you were asked to do. According to the cover memo for your open memo assignment, you were asked to research Florida's stop and frisk law and draft a memo advising whether a court is likely to grant a motion to suppress the evidence based on the nature of the stop. So you know that you are drafting a motion predicting whether the court is likely to grant a motion to suppress the evidence. But specifically, the attorney asked you to determine whether the encounter between the officers and Ms. Packer was consensual or investigatory. Then, regardless of your analysis on the type of stop, also evaluate whether the arresting officer had reasonable suspicion for the stop. So as you can see, you were asked to address 2 other different things, maybe 3, depending on if you think that consensual or investigatory are each their own sub-issue. But you were one to determine what type of stop was it, a consensual or an investigatory, and then presuming that it was investigatory, did the officer have reasonable suspicion for that stop? So we're going to come back here. So you have a main point heading. Based on what you were just asked, I want you to think how many issues you have and what would be the issue for your main point heading. Then you're going to have a roadmap section. In that roadmap section, you are going to need a whole bunch of different things. I will be creating a video in the next probably hour or so discussing the roadmap section. But for now, just think about what goes in your roadmap section. And then what is your subheading A going to be? Do you have any sub-issues? If you have a sub-issue, what is it? And you will do a CREAC under that. Then you'll have a subpoint heading B, because remember, you can't have an A if you don't have a B. And under your subpoint heading B, what is the subject of that? You will do a CREAC. And are you going to have a subheading C or a subheading D? So, reminding you of what you were asked, please research Florida's stop and frisk law and draft a memo advising whether a court is likely to grant a motion to suppress the evidence based on the nature of the stop. What do you think your main point heading is going to be about? Then, specifically, please determine whether the encounter between the officers and Ms. Packer was consensual or investigatory. Is that a single sub-issue or is that multiple sub-issues? If you have to determine between 2 things. Then, regardless of your analysis, please also evaluate whether the arresting officer had reasonable suspicion for the stop. So I ask you, how many issues do you have? How many main headings? Then, how many sub-issues do you have? How many subheadings do you have? And how many rule parts are in each subheading? How many CREACs are you going to do? I want you to think about that and think about how you are going to organize your memo. There is a large-scale organization assignment that is due. Please complete that once you have finished this video. And with that, I thank you, and I will see you again real soon.